Tonight, we're giving you enough nightmare fuel that will last you for a month. Last year we talked about some of the scariest animatronics that can be found at Disney parks, and you guys keep asking for more. And today, we'll show you the world's scariest animatronics. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon to be part of the FPF notification squad. Jurassic Park T-Rex. When Jurassic Park was in development, one of Steven Spielberg's main priorities was to have animatronic dinosaurs. He wanted all of the dinosaurs that would appear in the movie to be animatronics, but sadly this was entirely out of the question because of the budget for the movie. So many of the dinosaurs that appeared in the film had to be computer generated. Still, Spielberg wanted at least some animatronics, so the production team started looking for someone who was up to the task. They found the Stan Winston Studios. This studio had already worked on similar projects in the past, and they had been responsible for creating the xenomorph queen that appeared in James Cameron's Alien, so they were perfect for the job. The concept art was drawn, approved, blown up to a full-scale T-Rex, and then used as a reference. A mold was made for the latex skin that would cover the animatronic's interior mechanical structure. A huge team of people worked to make this T-Rex become a reality. Even Disney legend Bob Gurr helped consult for it. When the animatronic was done, it was taken to Soundstage 16 at Warner Brothers backlot. The 12,000-pound T-Rex was so heavy that the soundstage had to be reinforced so it could be stored there. But the T-Rex was ready to shoot. Now everything was perfect with the animatronic, but the time came to shoot the main road scene. In this scene, the T-Rex ended up getting soaked every day because of the rain that the scene needed. The animatronic was covered with foam rubber, and this material is absorbent, so the skin of the animatronic would quickly become saturated during filming, forcing the crew to stop shooting to use towels and fans to dry the animatronic. The other problem was that the animatronic's hydraulic build was messed up by the extra weight of the water, and this caused the entire rig to start shaking violently. But thankfully, everything worked out in the end, and the animatronic worked beautifully.
Life, finds a way.
There was another animatronic created by Stan Winston that was used in the film. The animatronic was used for close-up shots and more intense interactions with the T-Rex. It was not full-bodied, but built from the waist up and was even more detailed than the other one. The interesting thing about this animatronic was that it used an incredibly precise and computer-based action memory that could be used to pre-program movements into the animatronic so it could repeat the same actions over and over. This was very helpful because it allowed the T-Rex to push itself through the bathroom hut wall without hurting the actor during the scene. It is incredible that the Jurassic Park movies continue to use practical effects even now. In the latest film of this franchise, Fallen Kingdom, many animatronics and puppets were used so they could look even more real during shooting, one of which was an amazing T-Rex. Lake Placid Crocodile. Lake Placid is not a great movie. This story of a 30-foot killer crocodile didn't wow the audiences nor impress critics, but one of the few amazing things that this movie had was an amazing animatronic. This animatronic was again created by the talented team at Stan Winston Studios, and was used for many scenes where the crocodile appeared. The challenge with this animatronic was that it had to be submerged in water all the time, but the team at the studio did it, and they created a full-sized animatronic puppet, complete with moving head and tail and snapping jaws, that would function underwater. The team created a small-scale model that would serve as a guideline for the full-size build. The crocodile was mechanized through hydraulics, which, as had been learned on previous projects, worked fairly well in a water environment, as long as they were protected in waterproof housings and surrounded by a water-resistant skin. Now, before finishing the animatronic and doing a whole paint job, the crew took it to Castaic Lake in Los Angeles National Forest to test it. They dropped it in and confirmed that the animatronic did swim. It moved perfectly and even propelled itself. So, as soon as they knew it worked, they took it back to the studio and added lots of paint details and textures, so the crocodile would look as real as it could. They fixed any small problems that the animatronic showed, and the crocodile was ready to go. While they were filming, the crew attached the crocodile to a boat using a wire so it could gain greater speed, and the animatronic was a success. Sadly, as we said before, the movie wasn't, but as time passed, it has gained a big cult following, which is great because people can enjoy this amazing animatronic in action. Walking with Dinosaur Dinos. In July 2018, something unexpected happened in the BBC headquarters. A giant animatronic appeared walking and snooping around. This amazing animatronic was there to promote the Walking with Dinosaurs The Arena Spectacular tour. This show was created by the Creature Technology Company, and the production for it cost $20 million. This show uses animatronics and puppets to give life to 16 different types of dinosaurs, and it is based on the documentary television miniseries Walking with Dinosaurs. This show is the closest that a human will ever be to having an encounter with a live dinosaur. These dinosaurs move across the stage as if they were real, but how do they work? Well, they're a mix between a puppet and an animatronic. To be able to control the biggest dinosaurs, at least 3 people are needed. The first person is hidden in the base of the dinosaur. They drive the animatronic and monitor the hydraulics and batteries. The other 2 are the voodoo puppeteers. Their job is to move the dinosaur. One of them is in charge of the main movements, like the tail or the neck, while the other is in charge of the secondary movements, like blinking or the mouth, and also manages sound effects. For the smaller dinosaurs, the process is different. They are puppets, so they only need 1 performer inside the dinosaur. There are no voodoo puppeteers, so the person inside handles all of the dinosaur's movements, and they have to train a lot because the suit weighs about 88 pounds. This is one of the best shows in the world, but it can be pretty terrifying, especially when you're face to face with a full-size T-Rex. Fanny the Firebreathing Dragon. Fanny holds the Guinness World Record for largest mobile animatronic in the world. This giant robot dragon was designed by Electronic AG and is powered by 4 remote controls, a 2-liter turbo diesel engine, and a series of hydraulic valves. It was created as part of the Trudino project, to be able to participate in the Spearing the Dragon tradition that has taken place in the German town for the past 500 years. The dragon is made up of 2 hydraulic circuits, consisting of 272 valves, 50 drives, and uses 165 liters of oil. It also has 4,265 feet of electric cables. Fanny can travel around 1 mile per hour using its 140 horsepower engine. The beast also carries 80 liters of stage blood, which squirts out of its back when it is lanced with a spear during the play. Each of Fanny's legs has 7 degrees of motion, which means it can move laterally and walk around corners. This animatronic is equally amazing and terrifying. Transworld Animatronics. Transworld's Halloween and Attraction Show is the only industry trade show of its kind in the world. There is no other show that has as many exhibitors and industry-related projects. For 3 decades, Transworld's annual Halloween and Attraction Show has created the marketplace for the haunted house industry. Each year, the industry gathers to network, get new ideas, and purchase products. In this expo, industry beginners and veterans come together to learn about the latest practices and technology, and the most impressive thing about this show is the quantity and quality of the animatronics that are present. And all of this is thanks to the fantastic companies and studios that participate in the expo. Companies like Scare Factory, Distortions Unlimited, Poison Props, and Blacklight Attractions. Among the terrifying animatronics that have been presented during the expo, Blacklight Attractions presented a huge Pennywise animatronic holding poor little Georgie, who is missing an arm and screaming. Poison Props presented this terrifying display of clowns, these spooky giant pumpkins presented by Scare Factory, and many more. This event is undoubtedly the best place to learn from this industry and acquire new props and animatronics, and that is why to attend this expo, you need to be the owner or operator of a business related to this industry, to work for a company related to the industry, to be planning on starting a business in this industry, or to be invited by one of the exhibitors. The Rock-afire Explosion. Nolan Bushnell is known for many things. He was the creator of the Pong video game, co-founder of Atari, and creator of Chuck E. Cheese Pizza. Back in the 70s, Nolan wanted to create a place where families could enjoy the games of an arcade while eating pizza and enjoying a live show. So he proposed this to Atari, and in 1977, Chuck E. Cheese became a reality. Nolan had been asking the company to upgrade the technology used for the show, but the company refused, and this led to Nolan leaving the company, but not before buying the division of Pizza Time Restaurants, forming a new company under the title Pizza Time Theater Incorporated. The success of this company attracted investors, and one of these investors was Robert L. Brock, an investor of the Holiday Inn chain. Brock proposed to Nolan a millionaire contract to open 260 Chuck E. Cheese restaurants in 16 states, and everything was going along nicely until Brock started snooping around and realized that other companies such as Creative Engineering were creating more advanced animatronics than the ones that Nolan was creating. So he broke up the deal with Nolan and approached Creative Engineering so they could create a new company called Showbiz and become the direct competitors of Chuck E. Cheese. Creative Engineering's founder, Aaron Fetcher, loved the idea, and that's how the Rock-Fire Explosion band was created. This new show was pretty impressive compared with other animatronic shows at the time, because it had full-bodied animatronics that were capable of having facial expressions, and they were also able to be programmed to play melodies on real instruments. During the show, the band would perform melodies of classic rock, pop, and country music, as well as original compositions and comedic skits. Much of Showbiz's financial success was thanks to this band of animatronics. For many years, Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese competed with each other, until 1983, Nolan Bushnell had to declare Chuck E. Cheese in bankruptcy. And Showbiz bought all of the assets of Pizza Time Theater Inc. and brought both companies together, naming the new company Showbiz Pizza Time Theater Inc., but left the two restaurants as separate entities. Time passed, and the relationship between Showbiz and Creative Engineering began to deteriorate, since Creative Engineering had the rights to the image and recordings of the animatronics, and Showbiz wanted them to give them up without any compensation. Showbiz took all kinds of control from Creative Engineering and forced them out of the company. As part of the company's rebranding, Showbiz changed its name to Chuck E. Cheese, and the Rockfire Explosion Band was replaced by a new show called Chuck E. Cheese and Munch's Make-Believe Band, featuring the Chuck E. Cheese That's Pizza Time Theater characters, and Creative Engineering started selling their show to other restaurants like Circus Pizza, Pistol Pete's Pizza, and Billy Bob's Wonderland. But these places started closing one by one, and one of the few remaining shows is the one in Billy Bob's Wonderland in West Virginia. However, the conditions of the show are deplorable, and the animatronics seem to be out of a nightmare. Most of the mechanisms are broken down, and here are even animatronics covered with plastic bags. It is sad to see how these animatronics ended up. What do you think? Which of these animatronics did you find to be the scariest?